Hey everyone, welcome back. So today we're going to be looking at the upcoming games coming to the Nintendo Switch eShop in December 2020. So as usual, the month of December is not a huge month for big title game releases. However, the eShop this year is really keeping things going with over 30 releases for the month of December. So I thought we'd go through the list of all the great games that are coming out, and we take a more in-depth look at the more interesting ones, take a look at a few trailers, and really plan out which games we should really be looking forward to for the month of December 2020. Also, what's really fun is as we go through the list, I'll probably be letting you know which ones I plan on reviewing for the month of December as well. And I really want your input. If there's any games I skip over that look really interesting to you and you would really like me to review them for the month of December, please let me know in the comments down below. Also, if you agree with any of the games that I really think will turn out to be pretty decent games for the month of December, I want to hear from you as well, just so I know which reviews to focus on the most. And as usual, as we go through the video, if you like what you're seeing, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel if you aren't already. Now, just as a heads up, we're going to be looking at a few trailers. Normally, they're directly available on the website of the eShop, but tonight, the eShop's having some difficulty, most likely due to the Black Friday sales that are on. There's probably a lot of traffic, and the trailers are really playing like garbage on the eShop site itself. So what I'm going to do is when it's time to watch a trailer, I'll just switch over to YouTube really quick, pull up the trailer, and we'll take a look at it. Now, first of all, we have Empire of Sin coming out on December 1st. Now, this game is scheduled to have a physical release, so we're not going to focus too much on it in this video. I just want to mention it quick because it does look like an interesting concept, which is basically an XCOM style game, so like a tactical turn-based game, but set in a mobster's world. So you're controlling basically a different mobster, and your point is to get control of the city, but the battles play out like tactical maps, sort of like XCOM style. Seems interesting, but it's not one of the games that attracted the most my attention for the month of December. Now, the next game on the list, I don't plan to review, but does look interesting enough for the month of December that I do want us to take a quick look at the trailer together. So let's start with that, and then, we can talk about what I find interesting about the game.
Legend has it that Riva, god of destiny, dwells in the Tower of Fortune, where he decides the fate of all mankind with a trio of magic dice. Lead Sheeran the Wanderer and his sidekick Copa in their quest to conquer the Tower of Fortune. Explore mysterious dungeons that change every time you play. Adapt your strategy on the fly to deal with fearsome monsters and fatal traps. Collapse during your adventure and you lose all your hard-earned gear and money. But you keep the tips and tricks learned along the way. Know when to fight, know when to run, know when to gamble it all. And when a good run is ruined by bad luck, have another player revive you via the Wanderer Rescue System and continue from where you were defeated. With new bonus dungeons, your adventure never ends.
So I don't know about you, but to me, Sheeran seems like an interesting game. It reminds me a lot of a PS1 game back in the day called Azure Dreams, which basically, it's almost the same concept. You go through a tower with procedurally generated levels, and your point is get to the top of the tower. Now, this does seem to have a few different dungeons, but it seems really interesting as a concept. I love these dungeon crawler, turn-based, but at the same time, slight action-style games. It seems like it might be a pretty decent one. It's still not one of my top runners for the month of December, but it really looks like a good game. Next, quick mention, we have Sam & Max Save the World. Sam & Max is sort of a telltale game. So basically, you don't actually control the characters in the game, you just choose their actions and you try to work your way through the storyline. But the Sam & Max series back in the day was a hilarious, very funny, very engaging series. So if you're into that kind of game, it's one that you might want to take a look at. Me personally, not too much into that, but it does look like a good game as well. Now, in the next row of games, I would say that the biggest standout for me is Morbid, the 7 Acolytes. Now, for the moment, the game doesn't have a trailer, but if we look at the screenshots, it really looks like a dark Chrono Trigger action RPG. And honestly, if they can bring this together in a really awesome world, like if we look just at the screenshots, visually, graphically, the game looks awesome. It looks terrifying, although very simple. like this game could really, if it's done well, could really work for me. And I love action RPGs, and basically I'm getting like I said, I'm getting very dark Chrono Trigger vibes from this game. And if it turns out to be anywhere close to that, well, this will be a definite pickup for the month of December. I'm not sure I'm planning on reviewing it though, but it is a game that I would definitely have on my radar for the month of December. So the next game that's really gonna hit my radar, and this one I most likely will review, is Dead Tales. It looks like a action platformer with a really awesome Lovecraftian style, and there's actually a trailer for it. So let's start by watching that, and then you know, I'll give my vibes about the game. So I don't know about you, but the trailer looks pretty good. Of course, we don't see much. These are short trailers. That's why I'm showing them in full, because with 50-second trailers, we don't get much to go on. But if the game is well executed and the controls are solid, I think that this action platformer could actually really be a awesome pickup for the month of December. And like I said, I'm planning on reviewing this one, so check out, you know, shortly after December 3rd. The review will most likely go out as soon as possible. Now, one game that I am definitely going to be review is Gunpig for the Nintendo Switch. Now, this looks like an awesome, insane twin-stick shooter. It also has a trailer, so let's start by taking a quick look at that, and then we'll talk about it. So I don't know about you, but that trailer got me hyped for the game. Like, if the controls are good for this game, with these graphics and the level designs that look really interesting, I think this is going to be a definite must-have for twin-stick shooter fans. So this one I am also going to definitely review, which is why I said that Dead Tales I will maybe review, because it all depends on how fast I can get it out for Gunpig, because this is the game, this I'm really excited for. Dead Tales as well, but that will be the second one, and unfortunately they're both coming out on December 3rd, so I'll try to crunch it and get both games out really quick. Now, a quick shout out to Immortal Phoenix Rising. Looks like a super amazing game. However, I most likely will not be reviewing it, and there's probably going to be millions of reviews out on YouTube anyway for this game, but that is also coming out on December 3rd, so if you were into those open world, really adventure games, Immortal Phoenix Rising looks like it's going to be a great game. It's turning out way better than I thought originally, so that's another one to keep on the calendar. Also, another quick shout out to Wick Hex. We're just going to take a look at a few of the screenshots. Once again, this is a sort of a tactical turn-based action game. However, it's centered around the John Wick universe. I love the John Wick movies. I love Keanu Reeves. It's an awesome series. And this just looks like it's going to be a really nice blend of the Hex gameplay with the John Wick universe. So if you're into that, I would definitely have this game on my radar. For me, there's too many other good games coming out this month, but it is a definite one that did catch my eye when I went through it. Also, while we're on the shoutouts, Fire Emblem Shadow Dragon coming out on December 4th. is a definite awesome game. I'm going to try and get the collector's edition if I can and unbox it for the channel, but I won't be reviewing the game itself because it's a port of an NES game. I mean, there's already tons of reviews out there. It's Fire Emblem for the NES. You know, it's not really worth doing a full review in my opinion of, but once again, December 4th, great game on your radar at $5.99 if you're not going for the collector's edition. This is a easy pickup in my opinion. Now we're getting to actually the game which in my opinion is going to be the biggest quality release eShop wise for December, which is Monster Sanctuary. Number one, it's done by Team 17. If you don't know Team 17, well basically they just don't make bad games. Just to name a few games that they've done, the Ukulele series, the Banjo and Kazooie, most of the developers are the original team behind Banjo and Kazooie and the original Donkey Kong Countries. They've done the Survivalists, they've done the Escapists. Basically, they don't make bad games. And on top of it, Monster Sanctuary has a trailer available, so let's take a look at the trailer and you'll see why I'm hyped about this game. So I don't know if you understood the concept, but imagine Pokemon mixed with a dungeon crawler. Because basically you have a dungeon crawling section where you have to pick up eggs, monsters, you have to bring them back, you have to breed them, and then you get to battle the monsters. So it's the best of both worlds. So I'm really excited to try this game out, and it's releasing on December 8th. So I should have a few days, I should be able to clear out those reviews, and I am definitely planning on reviewing this game for my channel. Now, another shout out is Ghost Runner, which is basically a course running one-hit kill game. Now, I'm not probably going to be looking into this game too much, but it still visually looks awesome on the Switch. You can check out some trailers online. We're not going to spend too much time on it in my video. I just want to mention it because for a lot of people, it's going to be in their radar in December. It's not necessarily on mine, but I've got to admit that visually it looks like an amazing game. I'm not really into those course running one-hit parkour type games, but it's going to be out in December and it does look amazing for people who are into those type of games. Next, we have AI, which is basically a top-down classic arcade-style shooter. It looks visually very, very appealing for the Switch. However, you know, I've played millions of these games. I'm not really sure I'm in the mood for another one. But if December quiets down a bit and stuff gets out easy, this might be a game that I'm going to take a look at. I think if you're into this type of game, or if you haven't played a ton of them and you're sort of itching for this type of game, it looks like it's going to be a decent one, and at only $7.99, I mean, it's worth a try. Right now it's on sale for pre-order. Even at full price at $9.99, it's not too much to drop on a game to take a chance on. And like I said, if I have time, I will be trying to get a review out for this game, but there are other priorities for the moment, but it still looks pretty awesome for the month of December. Now after that, I would say that the next really interesting game is the Saga Final Fantasy collection that will be coming out on December 15th. Now this is a collection basically of all the Game Boy Final Fantasy games. Now I was really wondering why it took so long to get these games onto the Switch, because I loved these games as a kid. I played them in their original format, and I was waiting for them to be remastered and ported to something else to be able to play them again. And I'm gonna play this game. I'm not gonna be reviewing it though, because once again it's a port of the original games. However, I really liked the visual presentation they took for it. with this sort of like makes you feel like you're in a Game Boy style, and apparently you'll be able to turn your Switch vertically, and the game will actually be playable vertically on your Switch. So that seems really interesting to me. It's a really good concept, but not enough to do a full review on, however. So now we're already at the last game on my list of standout games for the month of December, and it is Dungeonoid. Dungeonoid is basically a mashup game of the old Arkanoid arcade game. So that's the ball bouncing game where you have a paddle and you have to bounce the ball back and forth and destroy basically these tiles. And basically they've integrated RPG elements with bosses, with enemies, and all that in the game. Now this seems like the craziest mashup that they thought of for the month of December. And if this thing really comes out on December 25th, you can be guaranteed that as soon as it releases on the eShop, I will be buying this game because I have to try out this style. And I plan on coming out with a review probably early next year, simply because I most likely will be taking a tiny break between Christmas and New Year's. I'll try to put out maybe one or two quick videos here and there, but I most likely won't be working through a full review. So, as I said at the beginning, there were over 30 games releasing for the month of December. Now, most likely I skipped some games that some of you are interested in, but like I said, I tried to focus on the biggest standouts for me, just so that we could maybe see what games are most exciting that are coming up. Now, if I missed any, like I said earlier, please let me know in the comments down below. If you guys are really excited about one game in particular, I might switch my plan up and we might review that game if I see enough people saying, look, I've heard about AI and it's going to be a top-notch, awesome shooter. Well, it's going to become a priority for me. So let me know down in the comments below. I also want to hear if you like these type of videos, because if every month you want me to come out and look at the future games and sort of pick our standouts for the month, let me know so that I can keep doing videos like this. As usual, as I said at the beginning of the video, if you like this video, please don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe if you aren't already, and also don't forget to hit the notification bell so you know when all my future videos come out. And as usual, I hope I'll see you in my next video.